Hello and welcome to Tommy Surfs. Today we're going to be looking at the HELM Performance Fish. Now this is a board that I actually filmed last summer along with the HELM Weekender, which I already put out the review for. But then I ended up losing the footage and I was finally able to recover it. While we wait for some decent surf to review the Great White Twin by Firewire, that's right behind me, I thought I'd put something out rather than have you wait. I know I wanted to put this video out after, but I think this might actually be somewhat fortuitous because summer is just around the corner and this is a great option for small waves. So the one we're looking at is 5.5 by 20.5 by 2.68 inches thick, comes in at 33.6 liters. Now this is 4 liters more than my typical grovel, super grovel board. I believe my Uber groveler, which I consider my twice baked, is 31 liters. Now looking at the rocker, it looks like it has a medium entry rocker with a bit of flip on the nose and a medium to low exit rocker. So now one of the most interesting things about this board is the chined rails. Now up until now I've never heard of it. I've always referred to it as beveled, and usually the bevel is a lot smaller than this. But ultimately it's supposed to help with releasing water at higher speeds. When you put it on rail, then the rail still grabs water, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. Better maneuverability, better speed. So lastly, we'll talk about the bottom contours. So the board is basically flat, minus the chined rails. And as you work your way back over the front fins and just behind the front fins, it turns into a V. Over the rear fins, it's more of a belly, and at the very tips of the tail, it's kind of flat out. Now something I didn't mention in the intro is that this is a soft top, much like the Weekender that I reviewed, the Mini Simmons version. HELM concentrates on soft tops, and what makes this soft top different from most that I've seen is that it actually has a hard bottom. So the epoxy board is exposed on the bottom, and the top is basically the EVA coating. So it's like a giant traction pad from nose to tail. So that is something you need to consider when you're looking at this board. So now the first thing I wanted to show you is how well it grovels. It is 34 liters as mentioned, just under 34. So for me this, a lot of it has to do with the fact that it does have a lot of volume. It's got a good amount of width. But if you compare it to, let's say, the Mini Simmons, the Weekender, that one has 38 liters, so it grovels in smaller waves better. So where this board shines is as the waves get bigger, you're not confined by the volume and the shape of the Mini Simmons. So this definitely is, true to its name, a performance fish. But it grovels insanely well. Now the one thing I really tried to do was figure out if I could feel the chined rails, but at no point did I feel any difference. I guess I would have to surf this board exactly the same shape without the chined rails back to back to get a better sense. But ultimately, I really liked this board. It was really fun. And again, as the waves got bigger, I felt like it had more performance than the Mini Simmons Weekender, especially when it got over shoulder high. Now, historically, soft tops, have always been somewhat disappointing to me. The HELM Weekender was a massive surprise to me. And this one is actually more of a surprise from the perspective of performance. Now, it gets me into these positions on these bigger waves, but more importantly, it pulls off the maneuvers. Now, regardless of how well it surfs, you do have to curb your expectations when it comes to a soft top. So for me, the soft top always feels a little slower. And to be totally honest, even though it felt slower on the surfing side, it got into waves so easily that it presented opportunities that I don't think I would have had even if I were surfing my FT. So in many cases, it'd be like surfing a longboard or something. You find yourself just getting better waves, or maybe more accurately, in better situations. So now, as you can see from the footage, the day just turned into crap. Tough to surf, but the board is still doing well to get down the line and, you know, keeping me interested and me having fun. So now the more I look at the footage, I don't look like I'm going slow. I mean, it feels like it when I surf the board. Anyways, that's why I think footage is so important. It kind of gives you the truth, right? You know, a lot of times I'll do a maneuver and I think it was the best maneuver I've ever done, and it was just mediocre. And then other times I'll do a mediocre maneuver and I'll look and I'll have the biggest spray that I've ever thrown. So it's very interesting how surfing just kind of skews your perspective. So I would, you know, when you look at a review, it's important to kind of compare boards, you know, under a surfer's feet, okay? But you also you have to make allowances for the type of board they're surfing. You're not going to want to compare something like the Sharp Eye FT to a soft top performance fish, right? You're going to want to compare this probably more to other soft tops, and you're going to want to compare the FT to other performance, high performance boards. So basically, to sum it up, I found this board to be pretty responsive, really fun, excellent groveler, and a definite recommendation, again, for anyone who might be, you know, looking for a good summer board. And I'm not sure what it is, but the few times I've surfed the HELM soft tops, the Weekender and this board, I had fun. I can't say that about all soft tops, but definitely these two made the difference, made crappy days definitely better. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you guys liked the video. Hope you guys liked the review, and hope you guys got something out of it. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the Great White Twin, which will be next.